Alright, this is my review of the Big Agnes High Volume Ultralight Fly Creek tent. I like it. It's the first time I used it out of the box. This is the two-person version. It's got a nice little vestibule here. It's got two zippers, so you can zip it up and over that way, or just zip it all the way down and then zip the second zipper as much far down as you want to and have that be your vent or just your window. Inside, you can see this is I forget what this is comprised of, but I think it's the polyurethane coated fly. I'll have to look into that, I forget. But the entry door is about a 50-50 mix between the ripstop nylon and the mesh. Interior, you can see you've got a pocket on each side. You've got a pocket on the top there, and you've got three little tie-in points if you want to put, hang a light or put an additional gear loft. You've got an additional ripstop nylon panel on both the left and the right sides, probably about 50% of the way up on each side. So overall, you're probably looking at about 2/3 of it is netting. The floor seams are taped. You've got one seam about 2/3 of the way, and you can see it right there. And it does stake out pretty well. So on the left and the right sides, that's not tensioned with a pole, that's tensioned by staking. So that's one thing to be aware of. This isn't a self-supporting tent. Being ultralight takes advantage of the fact that you do have to stake it out a little bit. It's actually kind of a two-pole design, but it's all connected via one pole. So it does have an O-ring here where these poles come together, but this is connected so it doesn't detach. So all of these three poles are one unit. You can see the guy out points here. That's how it comes in the box. They're all nicely organized, which is kind of neat. And they come with these ultralight stakes, which so far I really like. Haven't bent them yet. And you'll see the fly clips into the tent, or I have it the footprint down as well. You'll see it has an additional clip here. That's for the fly to clip into the footprint if you don't want to use the actual tent and just use it as more of a shelter. That's a nice little option. Cut some weight a little bit. And these tie-in points, these guy outs, looks like they're using a Dyneema, a really lightweight Dyneema cord here, which is cool. Number one, because it's lightweight, but also because it doesn't have an interior core, so that shouldn't gather moisture and hold any additional weight. But it pulls it out really well, and while these are plastic, these tensioners do a nice job and easy job. They're super easy to adjust, of tensioning out that fly. So as I said, it's staked out on the corners here, and then you've got the main pole grommet in the center back here, which again can attach to the footprint. So overall, I really like it. Gives a lot of floor space for one person, or it's a little probably cramped for two people, but you can make it work. And it performed well last night on the banks of Snow River in Washington, which you can't really see, but it was beautiful last night. And weighing in at just over 2 pounds, heck, compared to my REI half dome, which is twice that weight for a two-person, I'd say this is pretty good. You're not going to get the headroom, you only get it in the front, as opposed to the half dome, which has a lot of headroom on both of those two entry doors. But for shedding 2 pounds, heck, I'll take it. So that's a good recommendation for me. Again, that was a Big Agnes. That's the Fly Creek Ultralight High Volume tent. So one additional feature I just want to point out as being really thoughtful on this tent is that while it has these two guy points right here, which is great, it also has this clip into the main tent frame. So when you're pulling down and tensioning this fly, it also tensions the interior, which is really nice. It's kind of just, again, thoughtful. And they apply the same logic on lifting this up to the middle of the interior. So they're pulling out that that mesh, so giving you a little more interior room. Now as I take this off, it is a clipped-in design. It's not in a sheath. That saves on a little weight. And another kind of thoughtful design here is that they don't just tie out the bottom of the tub. They put another additional guy out point on the corner here, which lifts that up and just gives it a little bit more usable floor space, which is kind of nice. So that has its own tensioner. Pretty neat. And there's the interior. So yeah, you can see it's probably, I'm going to say, half to 2/3 of mesh. So they call it a 3-season tent. Yeah, 2.5. But again, 2 pounds. Super sweet. I like it.